The legendary Maria Sharapova accepting her induction into the International Tennis Hall of Fame this weekend.
When voices inevitably tell you to ease up, to round your edges, I hope you can find a way to ignore them. Compete fiercely, raise your standard, and don't forget to celebrate your victories, no matter how small.
The five-time Grand Slam winner cemented her legacy on the court alongside some of the biggest names in sport. Maria is one of only 10 women in tennis history to achieve a career singles Grand Slam, winning the Australian Open, Wimbledon, the French Open, and the U.S. Open. Tennis champion, entrepreneur, and newly minted Hall of Famer Maria Sharapova joins us now. Has it sunk in?
I don't think so. I'm in this joyful bubble, and I'm like, don't burst, not yet. Give me a minute.
What was the first thing that went through your mind when you realized that you personally had created this history?
I'm never someone that looked back because of the origins of my career, and you're always looking ahead. No matter if you win the tournament or lose the tournament, you're always thinking, like, what is the next challenge? Who is my next opponent? How am I going to find a way to win? And it's not after it's all said and done that you have time to reflect, and then being on that stage, on that podium, seeing familiar faces, people that have shaped the trajectory of my career, my family, my team members, Serena Williams. It was so special.
You mentioned Serena, one of your longtime rivals.
Yes.
There was just this really special moment when she spoke at the ceremony. Let's take a listen to that.
In our sport, only one person can walk away with the trophy. And what's really wrong with wanting to be your best? Nothing. In fact, it's what drove us. That's what made our rival so electric and so iconic.
Now, that appearance was a surprise, and I think she really used the right word. I mean, your rivalry was electric. And I thought, even as a woman in a competitive space, how beautiful it was to have your rival say those words about you. How did you feel hearing that?
It was a full circle moment. I grew up watching Serena and Venus practice in Florida from a very young age, and then finding her across the net as a teenager in my first Grand Slam final at Wimbledon, to seeing her on stage. And I made a conscious effort. I didn't take my phone out. I just made a conscious effort of seeing her there and saying these beautiful words right in front of me. It was so special. I also, I felt how powerful it was as two female athletes in a generation where, especially in the last few years, you've seen such a strong wave of female athletes being acknowledged for their power, for their persistence, for their talent, for their brains. So to be celebrated for that, and then coming together as rivals, but also, I mean, our friendship has really blossomed in the last few years, and we found so much common ground. And I think we let our guards down. You know, we knew we were the fiercest of competitors, but we also knew deep down inside we had so much in common.
And respect.
So much respect.
Someone else really special, your father.
Yes.
I want to talk about your relationship with your dad. You came here to this country with him when you were 7 years old, and my understanding is that he had just $700 in his pocket. What is that like to share this moment with him?
He didn't have much. We didn't have much as a family, but we had each other, and my father had a very big vision. And, you know, you could say he was very optimistic, you could say he was crazy, and from the outside, especially now that I have a 3-year-old boy, I started playing tennis when I was 4. I cannot imagine my son starting at that age, but I look back, especially as a parent, I realize how crazy it was, you know, to arrive in a new country with so very little and just a big hope and dream, and, you know, to get to a stage over 30 years later and to celebrate and be there together, that was a very special moment.
So much grit and determination, and look what he was able to help shape and create. Maria Sharapova, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.